What a fantastic lineup of games that truly takes advantage of today's Xbox. And it doesn't stop there. In 2006, we'll continue to market and sell Xbox consoles. By 2006, we'll have doubled the number of games on Xbox Live, and together we'll continue to sell Xbox games by the billions. Now, many gamers have been asking us if they'll be able to play their favorite Xbox games on Xbox 360. Tonight, we are very pleased to announce that Xbox 360 will be backwards compatible with the top-selling Xbox games. So that brings us to Xbox 360. Our team has worked with passion and commitment to build the most powerful game platform in history. And Xbox 360 will drive category growth for the entire video game industry. Growth that will create an increasingly profitable worldwide business for our partners. How will we get there? Well, we'll start this Christmas holiday season when we launch Xbox 360 in North America, Europe, and Japan. That's right. Xbox 360 will hit the stores this year as we orchestrate the industry's first three-region console launch. We'll get there with the best launch lineup in game history. We'll get there by making games more approachable for people who didn't grow up with a game controller. We'll get there by offering games that deepen the social experience of playing games with your friends. And we'll get there by integrating all of your digital entertainment devices and content into your gaming experience. Working together, we will transform thought leadership into market leadership. We built Xbox 360 with a mission, a dream, if you will. That dream is to inspire people to think about entertainment in new ways, to revolutionize the way people think about having fun. Now, at its core, Xbox 360 is a great game console.
There's been a lot of discussion recently about when the next generation of video games begins. It begins right now. It begins this year. And you just saw it with your very own eyes. And there's plenty more where that came from. This year we'll have between 25 and 40 titles ready this calendar year for Xbox 360. We already have 160 titles in development. And the arrival of Xbox 360 signals a shift as important as any shift we've seen in the industry to date. 30 years ago, we saw the birth of this industry with the arrival of the first 2D games. Games that appealed to everyone. They found a very broad audience that numbered in the tens of millions. And we all remember those great ads from that era, where entire families surrounded the TV on the couch playing games together. Well, then we made the leap from 2D to 3D, and we expanded and jumped our industry past the 100 million mark. But at that very same time, we narrowed our scope to a much more limited demographic. Today, we're poised to make the leap again, this time from 3D to the HD era. Now, of course, the HD era is about high-definition graphics and unbelievable sound, but the implications of the HD era are even more profound than that. It's about the ability to connect with your community and to personalize your experience. It's about unleashing the creative power of human energy. If we work together to create games and experiences that really deliver on the promise of the HD era, as an industry, we'll take games places they've never been before. In the HD era, we're going to reach 1 billion people with our medium. Let's sit down and take a stroll with Cameo. Now, the great thing about Xbox 360 is the experience. Right here, you hit the Xbox Guide button, and you launch the user interface for the HD era. It's an interface that's clean, consistent, and customizable. Another click, and you have instant access to your games, your friends, and all of your entertainment. Here's my gamer card. Today, everybody in Xbox Live has a friends list and a game tag. But this time, we're going to take it to the next level with new features like the gamer card. Think of your gamer card kind of like your online trading card. It includes your reputation, your gamer score, the zone you like to play in, and your motto. With zones, you're going to be able to match up with players whose style of play matches up with yours. So whether you're in the family zone or in the pro zone, you're guaranteed to match up with the right people all the time.
I'm honored to have this opportunity to speak with you tonight at E3, the largest video game event in the world. Square Enix and Microsoft share a vision for the future of gaming and entertainment. And together, we play a leading role in creating innovative technologies that will bring new levels of interactivity and self-expression to video games. So tonight, I'm very excited to be able to announce that Square Enix will join with Microsoft and Xbox to bring our games to Xbox 360 and Xbox Live. We are deeply impressed by taking advantage of Xbox 360's superb graphics power.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks very much for coming. I really appreciate it.
To invent it. Ken Kutaragi and his team at Sony set out to invent a different future. They imagined a rich 3D experience fusing gaming, music, movies, communication. They imagined a platform that could power such a transformation. PlayStation hit the world with a force rarely seen.
You go, girl.
Developers embraced the platform with amazing ferocity, creating the world's richest, most immersive games. PlayStation 2 redefined computer entertainment with unparalleled power, speed, and graphics, converging movies, games, and music. PlayStation Portable, the next revolution. Suddenly, handhelds aren't just for kids or just for games. From a minor market into a major cultural force, PlayStation continues to invent the future. Live in the future.
I'd like to take you back in time, back to March 1999, and to the worldwide introduction of PlayStation 2 at the Tokyo International Forum. We showed a demo of a duck that became famous for showing off the capability of PlayStation 2 and the emotion engine and graphic synthesizer. It was also a lot of fun. Why don't we remind ourselves of what that looked like 6 years ago? Here we have our duck in his bathtub, rendered in real time on PlayStation 2 with his best friend, the submarine. So, shall we take a look and see what he looks like now on PlayStation 3 and see how he lives today? Let's have a look at the demo. So here's my duck, stunningly rendered in real time. This is me driving it around. Man in suit uses game controller, shock. And we have the ability to render the water in great detail. As I jump the duck in and out, you can see the caustics and all the effects that are being rendered in real time on this fantastic HD display. 2,300 square feet, that TV, by the way. Available in a Best Buy near you tomorrow. So, I do think our duck might be a little lonely. So let's introduce a couple of friends to him. And you can see here these little battleships or galleons that I can move around under my control, which I'll do my best to play 2 players at once, which is challenging, I have to say. And you can see that as I move around the camera, the cloth dynamic is being damaged by the cannonballs in real time, and everything is working in real physics. But I still think our duck's a little bit lonely, don't you? Let me add a couple more ducks into the simulation. So here you have all the physics working and all the collisions and all the dynamics and all the fluid simulation. But he's still a little bit lonely. I think he still needs more friends. So let's stick in a couple more here. And this gives you an example of the overwhelming performance of PlayStation 3 and everything that you can do. Some of them are so happy to leave the bath, they jump out. But I don't think that's enough ducks. I don't think you can ever have enough ducks. And for the technically minded amongst you, this demo uses LOD, which is lots of ducks. Ba-boom. Ah, it did work. And to help demonstrate this, we turned to our friends at Sony Pictures Imageworks, the Oscar-winning special effects wizards from the movie Spider-Man 2. We asked them to borrow some of their precious computer graphic data that they had created for the movie, and we got the wonderful actor Alfred Molina's performance from Spider-Man 2 in computer graphics. And here, we run it in real time on PlayStation 3. I'm amazed at the response, the reaction here. The quality of the image is absolutely fantastic. You can see as we move the camera around that the light moves around also over the face. And this uses a very special technique which is pioneered by, once again, a guy called Paul Debevic, using light stage data. And we can move the light around over the face, and you can see that the shadows are cast realistically, and even the light reflects and transmits through the ears. This is something that the cell processor allows us to get that level of detail into our 3D computer graphics. We can also change to different light stages to show in real time image-based lighting, where we're using the environment to light the character. Here in a forest glade, lighting the Alfred Molina character in real time. And you can see as we move the high dynamic range in and out, you get a phenomenal level of detail.
All right, so the game we're going to show you is EA Sports Fight Night, which is EA's boxing franchise. And this demo, I truly believe, is a big first step forward towards delivering a new, more emotionally immersive game experience on the PS3. So I've been working on Fight Night since the beginning of the franchise, and I just can't tell you how exciting it is as a developer to finally have the technology in our hands to build the Fight Night game that we've been looking to build all these years. So enough of me yapping, let's fire up the demo. And just to be clear though, this is all running live in real time on renderware on the PS3.
It's the king of the ring, combination slanger, skill and technique, old foe mania. I'm deep in the trenches, training for months. I'm like a prize fighter, giving left jabs, left hooks, overhead rights, followed by an uppercut, turning out your lights. Work with your boy now, work with your boy now.
All right. So as you know, in boxing, it's these big, like, bone-crushing, devastating punches that really bring out the drama and the emotion of the sport. Obviously, what we're looking to do, you can see graphically now just how we're able to emphasize the brutality of the punches. But what we really want is the person at home, like playing the game, to kind of get that same gut-clenching, stomach-tightening feeling that you would have if you were actually in the ring seeing that punch land. And I think that's like the biggest goal for us on Fight Night PS3. It's all about, like, hey, having the person playing the game really feel those same kind of emotions and reactions that a boxer in the ring would feel, and then using those emotions to, like, tell the story of our fight. So let me show you how we're going to do that. So the first thing in building an emotionally believable character is making the character look visually real. And that's, like, really hard in our game because pretty much everybody who plays our game knows what a human being looks like. And so if there's anything off in the character, like, the human eye is going to know. But you can see how far we've come just in being able to kind of deliver a realistic human form in game. But it's not enough just to make a nice picture. We really got to bring that picture to life. And we do that with all the different facial animations we have on our character, animating both the geometry on the boxer's face and the textures of their skin to produce the most realistic looking facial expressions that we've seen in video games.
Okay, listen up. We're there now. Boyle, hold on tight. Touchdown. Get off this thing. Move towards the bridge. Get him off the beach. Get off the beach now. What the hell, guys? Let's give us a charge, you son of a bitch.
So existing franchises are really the foundation. But to build an amazing platform, we need to reinvigorate the market with something new and something different. So our next video is a small sampling of new games and future franchises being born on PlayStation 3. So let's take a look at those.
And now, I have the final and the biggest announcement. Everyone, this is PlayStation 3.
It's an excellent example of new kinds of software that reach out and attract people who don't even consider themselves gamers yet. To show its potential, we took electroplankton to David Hollins, a man who's raised the job of DJ into an art form, who's the musical director of the award-winning De La Guardia phenomenon off-Broadway, and who's taken his sound from the Indiana farm fields to London, Barcelona, and Moscow.
My name is David Hollins. I live in New York City. I'm a DJ here. I think I've got the best job in the world. I get to go to all the great parties, play music for people. Although most of my gigs are probably here in the US, I do a lot of international traveling. I don't know, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I've been gaming since, I think, the beginning. I'm probably 6 or 7 years old. We got our first little home unit with like Pong and stuff. And now, Nintendo has this electroplankton game. It's not a goal-oriented game where you have to go do something. It's more of an interactive art and music device where you manipulate these bioluminescent fish underwater. And they had behavior patterns that I could control, and depending on what I told them to do, they would make sound back to me. One of the great things that I've found about working with electroplankton in the studio is the sounds are fantastic. There's a rich palette of sounds. They've got really nice bass sounds, high clicking sounds, which are great for percussion, and the overall just warmness of some of the pianos and the other synth sounds that are in there were fantastic for implementing into my studio environment. And I was able to make the track completely with just the sounds from the unit. I didn't have to add anything else. This entire experience has been just fantastic. I was thinking in my head, what am I going to do to make a song for a video game? But this isn't at all. I'm making a song from a video game. I'm having this device give me sounds and just letting that and those sounds take me where I want to go musically. And I mean, I would do this again in a heartbeat. It's been amazing, really, really hot.
It's no secret that we didn't invent the concept of online gaming, but we do intend to reinvent it. This is the year that Nintendo players begin connecting with each other in a new way through Wi-Fi internet. We recently announced our first Western partner in creating a groundbreaking infrastructure called Nintendo Wi-Fi Connection. That partner is GameSpy, the global leader in connecting online players at a distance. Finding rivals with Nintendo Wi-Fi connection occurs on two distinct levels. If you choose, you will find only the friend or friends you want to compete with. This level may be most appropriate for certain kinds of games and certain kinds of players. The second will offer links to similarly skilled unknown opponents. Users won't face monthly gameplay bills. As far as Nintendo is concerned, they won't face any added charges at all to play first-party games wirelessly. Around the world, 25 independent publishers are already at work on DS Wi-Fi games, including Activision, Bandai, Capcom, Electronic Arts, Konami, Namco, Sega, THQ, Ubisoft, Vivendi, and Square Enix. Let me finish with something more specific. We intend for you to be playing Mario Kart DS and Animal Crossing DS, both by DS wireless internet and both by the end of this year. And here's the second. Now, I know you haven't seen this. It's Game Boy Micro. Game Boy Micro. Just a hair bigger and about 2/3 the weight of an iPod mini. But this little package plays every Game Boy Advance game you own.
We gave you DS, a new Game Boy, and new games to play on them. And now you say you want a revolution. Well, we've got one. This is a Nintendo Revolution prototype we have with us for meetings this week in Los Angeles. Clearly, Revolution is by far the smallest console we've ever manufactured. In its final form, it will be even smaller than this, about the size of 3 standard DVD cases stacked together. It will play either horizontally or vertically. Revolution games will play on 12-centimeter optical disc. These games, along with all GameCube software, will play through the same self-loading media drive. Owners can also choose a small internal attachment to play movies and other DVD contents. Every home game machine in history has married a controller to a console and a console to a TV. In the next generation, the addition of the internet will be important to all consoles and particularly important to Nintendo. Wi-Fi capability will be built into every Nintendo Revolution. How these 4 elements, controller, console, TV, and internet, interact with each other forms a central difference in Revolution design. Our goal in customizing these connections is to develop a device which is functional and appealing to every member of a household, whether they consider themselves gamers or not. It is right for everyone. I can confirm that all controllers for Revolution will be wireless using Broadcom technology. The controllers will also be very unique in ways we will share with you later. Finally, I'd like to give you one full answer to a piece of the Revolution puzzle I have talked about previously, backward compatibility. As I said, the disk drive will accept GameCube games, but we are redefining the term backward compatibility. That's because we have designed Revolution to be a virtual console capable of downloading 20 years of Nintendo content. You will be able to purchase great games originally created for NES, Super NES, and Nintendo 64. It is accurate to say that Nintendo Revolution is technically capable of playing virtually every Nintendo console game ever created.